Hello everyone, this is Khushi Modi from Elite Learning. Being a Cambridge certified CELTA trainer and having 7 years of teaching experience of different foreign language examinations like IELTS, PT, TOEFL, CELPIP, Duolingo and the other examinations, I am here today to guide you how to improvise your reading, especially with the fill in the blanks part. We'll be looking at the grammar rules and that would be useful to you to improve your reading scores. So basically, reading module. In the reading PTE reading module, there are three more most important things that are major contributors of your reading score. Those are read aloud, fill in the blanks reading and writing. Those are the MCQ or the drop down fill in the blanks that we can call. And the third is drag and drop fill in the blanks, that is fill in the blanks reading. So these are the three questions which you need to which you need to ace in order to improvise your reading. And trust me, these three question types are really very easy to score. Only you need to pay good attention to them. Okay, so to start with, read aloud. Let us just have a brief talks about read aloud. So basically, in the read aloud section, in the read aloud question, you need to make sure that your fluency is good, right? Even if you're not sure of few words, probably if you want to skip them, you can do that. But make sure that you have fluency while you're speaking, and of course your pronunciations are correct. So these are the two major contributors for read aloud, fluency being the number one, and pronunciation. And with practice, of course, you'll be able to score well in the read aloud section. Okay, coming to fill in the blanks reading and writing, the ones that are the drop down fill in the blanks. So in these fill in the blanks, these are more meaning based fill in the blanks, because you have four options for one particular blank, and probably all the four options are ing, ending with ing, or for all the four options are ending with ed. So you have to really know the meaning of those words in order to score well in those questions. There are only few blanks in between, probably one or two, that might be grammar based for the drag and drop fill in the blanks. For the drop down fill in the blanks, that is the reading writing fill in the blanks, only one or two probably would be more of like, there would be few prepositions that would be given to you and you'll have to select the right one. So, for example, such, when, for, although. For example, these are the four options and you'll have to select from them. So, this is very rarely the thing, but majorly it is for the grammar is more applicable in the reading fill in the blanks. And today, the grammar rules, the grammar shortcuts that I have come up with, I'm sure you'll be able to score at least 75 to 80% accuracy is what it can be expected after the end of this video. That is, you'll be looking at the grammar rules, the grammar shortcuts that you can just memorize and use it. Okay, so how are these shortcuts going to help you? Of course, there would be two or three options. Out of the seven or eight options that you're going to have, you'll narrow down to two options. And then those two options, out of those two options, you'll have to select the right one depending on the context of your uh, text, whatever the context of the paragraph that is going on. Then you would have to use those meaning, probably. See, everything is on understanding. So it is really important that you understand the question, that you understand what the thing is talking about, but don't waste your time too much in understanding. You should pay more focus on which word will come next, so that you don't waste your time and you're able to solve all the questions. Okay, so today not only we'll be looking at the grammar rules, I'll be giving few grammar shortcuts to you which you will be applying, and we'll be looking at the other things as well which are related to grammar. So let us start with the grammar rules that would be applicable in the reading fill in the blank. So the first rule is to, after to, if there is a blank, there would always be verb in its original form. that is V1, without ed, without s, without ing. So that kind of a verb would be there in case there is to and there is a blank after that, to dash. So in this case there would be a verb that would be required to be placed in that blank, and it would be V1. The second rule is am, is, are, or was and were. After these, there would be verb in its ed form, that is the V3 third form of the verb, or the verb will end at ing. Now this is called active and passive. In the active voice it would be verb with ing, and in the passive voice it would be verb with ed. So that would be looking at later, but this is just a general rule that after am, is, are, was, were, there would be a verb with ed, that is verb in its third form V3, or not and, or a verb with ing. We'll be looking at each and everything in detail. The next third rule is after has, have and had, there would always be either V3, that is ed form of the verb, or there would be a noun or an adjective and noun, likewise, whichever way it is. The next one is be. After be, being and been, be, being and been, there would be always, these three would always be followed by V3, third form of the verb. All prepositions, after all prepositions, that is by, on, with, for, to, of, and until, unless, every, all prepositions, after all prepositions, either there would be a noun, or there would be a verb with ing, or there would be V3, that is third form of the verb. Only these three possibilities would be there after prepositions. After a and the, and the, and the, there would either be noun or an adjective and noun. Now I think for you would always have a singular, and an will always be followed by a singular noun, that is ekvachan, right? And an is used before nouns or before words, I would say, that end with that start with a, e, I, o, u, right? These are vowels. So before vowels, there would be an singular vowels. If the word is starting with a vowel, then there would be an before that. So yeah, this is just a basic rule. Okay, the next is modal verbs, that is can, could, may, might, should, would, have to, must, will. These are the modal verbs. So after modal verbs, there would be V1, that is verb in its original form, without s, without es, without ed, without ing, anything. Nothing would be there, only the verb in its original form. For example, the verb is shake. The bottle can be used. Uh, okay, no, sorry. Okay, yeah. So see, in the flow, I used can be. So after be, we have ed. Can be used. So after be, there was ed. This form of the verb. Anyways, getting back, modal verb. So after can, there would always be V1. That is, I can shake the bottle of water, or I can shake the uh, um, juice before using it. So can is followed by V1, shake. Shake, the V2 form is shake, shook, and the V3 is shaken, right? So yeah. Next, going forward, so I hope modal verb plus V1 is clear. Many, after many is used to describe bahuvachan, that many is bahu, wo bata, right? So after that there would be nouns, many scientists, many students, many parents, many flowers, many trees. So always there would be plural form of the words, not verb, words, that those are nouns basically. Nouns એટલે કોઈ પણ object, any object or probably any person or thing basically is or a feeling, for example. So those are nouns. So any plural noun would be followed by many. After it, which and that, there would, if there is a blank after it, which or that blank, then it would, the verb with will end in S or ES, because it, which, and that are used for singular third person subjects. So for singular third person, you use S and ES with the verb. So this is just a rule. You don't need to remember the third person, first person, and the things like that. That is why the shortcuts are over here, so that they can easily be learnt and used. Moving forward, after though and although, there would be a noun or a pronoun. Though I was late for work, comma, the nobody scolded me, for example. Or though I was late for school, nobody scolded me. So though and although are though I was late. So I is the pronoun. Though my friend was late, or though let's take somebody's name. Though Sonia was late, for example. So Sonia is a noun. So although and though are followed by a noun or a pronoun. Okay, now let us look at in depth one blank, one rule, and see how we are going to apply those rules. Okay, so to start with, to has to be followed by verb V1, right? Okay, so let us see this blank. Without a solid educational background, they may struggle to dash good careers or even find a job. So after two, we have build, and the V3 and the V2 form of build is built with a T, B-U-I-L-T. Those two are the V3 and V2 forms. So this is the V1 form, that is the original form of the verb, that is V1. And then the next, colleges and universities provide new skills to meet career needs, or whatever, to meet career, full stop. So that is again to meet. Met is the second form of the verb. Meet career requirements, equipping students with the tools needed to succeed, right, in an academic in a dynamic job market. I hope this is clear. Now the second is am, is, are, was, were. That has to be followed by V3, that is ed form of the verb. So let us look at it. Moreover, it is constantly evolving and improving as new features and enhancements are incorporated into the language and its library everywhere. So incorporated is ed form of the verb or V3 form of the verb, we can call it. Now let's look at another example. A particular form of response termed engaged empathy was dash. So was noted when children showed genuine concern and understanding of others' emotion, often mirroring their parents' empathetic behavior. Moving forward, to be, being, and been has to be followed by V3, that is the third form of the verb. Let us look at the example. Green tea, one of the oldest herbal teas known, has been consumed, has been. So BEEN has been consumed for centuries in many countries. But the analysis of moving forward. So been will be been has been followed by ed, that is consumed. Consume is the original form of the verb, that is V1. But the analysis of single trot farm in a Faroe Islands forged over nearly a year also shows that these facilities need to be placed, be followed by placed, carefully, and that there is a limit to how can operate in a particular, how many can operate in a particular area before its biodiversity suffers lasting harm. So yeah, we saw in the beginning can, could, may, might modal verbs are followed by V1, and we have V1, that is operate, right, original form of the verb. Okay, the next rule, can, could, may, might. So let us look at the example. Recent studies suggest that bilingual individuals may experience trade-offs in language. So basically these rules, these shortcuts, I will not call it rules, I'll call it shortcuts, will help you eliminate, like for example, out of 7 or 8 or 9 options, for example, if the blank is a bigger one, so you'll have 8 or 9 options. So out of 8 or 9 options, you'll just have 2 options to select from. So because this shortcut, you know that there are only 2 V1. So this shortcut will help you over there, and then you can just use the right one at the right place. Okay, the agricultural sector must adapt to shifting weather patterns, and researchers in this field can withstand the impacts of a changing climate. Same way. Has, have and had are to be followed by V3, that is ED form of the verb, or a noun. Now let us look at it. Rowling's storytelling captivated readers, leading to a series that has sold millions of copies worldwide and evolved into a cultural phenomena, redefining the relationship between literature, fandom, and branding. Presently, many nations have followed by implemented specific regulations requiring manufacturers to pass emissions and efficiency tests to their vehicles. Next, it, which, and that, as I told earlier, it, which, and that are used for singular third person. So, after singular third person, there would be verb with s or es. Now, let us look at the example. One of the fundamental mechanisms of burgeoning field of artificial intelligence is machine learning, which empowers s, not which empower. S empowers AI systems to redefine their algorithms based on data. A critique often directed at holistic medicine is that it leans towards philosophy than empirical science. Right? I hope you're able to understand things and the rules properly. Moving forward, a and the has to be followed by either a noun or an adjective and noun. So, each year, successive generations of monarchs complete different legs of the journey, relying on a combination of environmental cues and inherited instincts to find their way to a destination they have never been before. So, so that is destination. After there is a noun, destination. The traditional notion of an abrupt end to one's career. Abrupt is vague, like the vague is the meaning of abrupt. So abrupt is like uh, not very clear. Vague is unclear basically. So yeah, it's important for people to understand that green tea is not a cure all and should be a part of a balanced diet and healthy lifestyle. So balanced is an adjective, right? Moving ahead. All prepositions of, for, which, whatever are to be followed by V3, verb with ing or noun. Let's look at the example of nouns. I have noted down two examples, that is between plus members. It is nowhere mentioned and it is nowhere the case that there would be singular noun or plural noun. There would be noun, it can be singular, it can be plural, ekvachan or bahuvachan, whichever way the sentence is. Okay, this area of sociology examines the patterns of interaction between members within a group. Remember, a reliable contractor is not just for quality work, but for peace of mind. Of is followed by mind, that is a noun, throughout the renovation journey. Okay, now basically I have in this particular image we have rules like subject verb object. Obviously a sentence is made of subject verb object, and see I explained the active voice because tenses are always in active voice and the passive voice would be looking at further. So yeah, so see, these are the rules. You can just take a note of subject V1 object, subject Amazon, and the other past rules and the future rules as well, so that it is these will be helpful for you in the longer run when you would be solving blanks where probably these shortcuts might not apply. So when you have these things in mind, it would be easy for you to cope up with, right? Um Okay, let us look at an example. Observations of children's play patterns dash a preference for toys with bright contrasting colors and repetitive shapes. So patterns, after patterns, see, this is the entire subject. Observation of children's play patterns, this is the subject. So after that we have to have a verb. So what all verbs do we have? Oh my god, we have four verbs, that is regulate, capture, confirm and indicate. So we have four options to choose from. So I think I should go with indicate. Observations of children's play patterns indicate a preference for toys with bright and contrasting colors and repetitive shapes. Experts believe, so we are done with the indicate option, right? Experts believe these features dash children's attention. Now again we need a verb over here because features is a subject and now it has to be followed by a verb. So what verbs do we have? We are left with three verbs, that is capture, confirm and regulate. So what verb? I'll just give 2-3 seconds to think. Experts believe these features capture children's attention, right? Okay. This preference for repetition and contrast appears to be an innate characteristic aiding children in the early learning and dash of their environment. Now we would go by meaning, probably more meaning based. So let us just have a thought and think. After learning and motivation of the environment, or probably exploration. See, verbs are not possible because it is a subject kind of a thing for the sentence. So either it would be exploration or motivation, whichever suits better. So out of the four, out of the six, we only have two options to select from. So I think I'd go with exploration of the environment. Motivation of the environment is not aiding in the early stages. So yeah, motivation is we receive from something else. Now moving forward to active and passive voice, see, there is a meager difference between active. See, active voice is all the tenses that we learned, that is subject, verb, object, and passive voice, you just do a cross and you swap the subject and object. And these are few rules. So you can just, if you want, you can take a note down. I have simplified it as much as I could so that it becomes easy for you to understand. So probably you can take a screenshot and or probably an image so that we can quickly see. In passive voice, these are all passive voices. So you need to keep in mind that in passive voice, you always use V3, and that is ed form of the verb or the third form of the verb, right? Okay. So quickly, we will look at the example. Psychology and psychiatry are often used, yet they are distinct fields. Psychology is my favorite subject. Psychology focuses on the study of behavior and the mind, utilizing various therapeutic techniques for mental health. So easy. Mental health, what? There would be a noun that would be needed over here. So what all nouns do we have? We have issues, we have direction, rules. 3 nouns we have. Wow, this is so easy. We are just left with 3 options. Now out of issues, direction and rules, what do you think is the correct one? Will it be rules? For mental health rules? No, of course not. It would be issues. For mental health, issues. Psychiatrists, on the other hand, so easy, right? On the other hand, see, it goes in the flow. While you're reading, I always, how personally, basically, I solve these blanks. I'm already aware of the rules and grammar rules and everything. I generally predict the answer because in the flow of reading, just like this, the way I said the answer, I often have the habit of predicting the answer before I see the options, so that it becomes easy for me. At times it happens that one of the options are already there, which I have thought of or which I have predicted. So that makes it easy. Continuing forward, our on the other hand, are medical doctors specializing in mental health able to dash medications alongside therapy, are able to, two has to be followed by V1. We have one, invest, approach, prescribe and carry. 4 V1 we have. Now, which would be the better one? Let us read the sentence again. Let me read it again. A medical doctor specializing in mental health able to prescribe medications. Okay, what, see, we'll make it easy. Medications are medicines, right? So are able to prescribe medicines alongside therapy. Prescribe का मतलब क्या होता है? Prescribe means to write down, to prescription. Basically हमें डॉक्टर का प्रिस्क्रिप्शन लेके जाना पड़ता है कोई भी दवाई लेने के लिए, right? कोई भी whenever we go to purchase medicines in any medical stores, तो हमें डॉक्टर का प्रिस्क्रिप्शन लेके जाना पड़ता है. तो वो डॉक्टर क्या करते हैं? प्रिस्क्रिप्शन में मेडिसिन प्रिस्क्राइब करते हैं. सो प्रिस्क्रिप्शन, प्रिस्क्राइब इज द वर्ब फॉर्म. वर्ब इज द एक्शन के लिखना, right? So prescribe medications alongside therapy. Both fields play crucial roles in mental health treatment, but they dash it from different angles. But they approach it, right? They see it, view it, they take it from different angles. So approach would be the perfect word over here. Okay, moving ahead to the next one. Next, fill in the blanks. A new book titled A Smaller World features vivid illustrations by dash artists. Wow, we already know that by has to be followed by ed. So we have 3 options, 4 options: imposed, renowned, differentiated and involved. So by dash artist, would it be involved artist? No. Imposed artist? No. Renowned artist, well-known artist. So renowned artists. The book presents futuristic scenarios where nanotechnology revolutionizes medicine alongside detailed explanations of the science dash of the science. So this is a involved would come over here, I think, because this goes with the sentence. Okay, its striking visuals help readers dash a future where tiny machines treat diseases at the cellular level. So envision a future would be a better word, better fix over here. Moving forward, choosing the right contractor for home renovation is crucial for a successful project. Begin by defining your renovation goals and budget to dash. Budget to, oh, unfortunately here we have 4 verbs. Budget to ensure clarity of the scope of work. Important research potential contractors focusing on the experience, customer reviews and a portfolio of past projects. Importantly, dash up a detailed contract to avoid misunderstandings. Draw up, right? Drawing can be a better fix over here. Remember, a reliable contractor is key, not just for quality work but peace of mind. Very easy. Okay. Recent studies suggest that bilingual individuals may dash. See, this is a modal verb and followed by a blank. May dash trade-offs in language processing. May experience trade-offs in language processing. While they benefit from the ability to dash between languages, to followed by V1, to switch between languages. Languages के बीच में अदला बदली करना, switch करना. This comes with a potential risk, या ऐसा कुछ हो सकता है इधर, potential downside. राइट. सी पोटेंशियल इज एन एडजेक्टिव, तो एडजेक्टिव के बाद हमेशा नाउन आता है, तो डाउन साइड इज अ नाउन. अ स्लाइट डिले इन वर्ड रिट्रीवल compared to monolingual speakers. This trade-off or result of managing two linguistic systems highlights the complex dash of language cognition, the nature of language cognition. I hope all the grammar rules are clear and you would be able to solve the blanks easily. Just memorize the shortcuts that are there, and I'm sure you'll be able to score well. If you have any doubts, queries, you can let us know in the comment section, and my team would get back to you immediately to resolve your doubts and queries. All the very best.